You are the lead software developer for an innovative startup that created a fantastic online centralized application. Your app has become incredibly popular almost overnight. One night, you're dreaming about retiring early when a sound that's completely out of place invades your reverie. You wake up with your heart pounding, but the sound's still there, like a klaxon screaming for your attention. You just received a critical alert from a service that monitors the application's health. The servers are crashing, being recycled, and crashing again. You look at the metrics, only to feel your blood stopping its flow when you see the number of users connecting and attempting to use the app. The application is being hammered to death by legitimate users. The system was never designed for this level of success and load. It uses no client or server caching, and most data requests go straight to the database server. To make matters worse, not only are you already using the most powerful database hardware that can be found on the market, but the application was not designed to scale, nor can throwing more machines to serve users be a solution. So what most likely happened? You're in a meeting with some folks from the business side. They're presenting a very innovative idea for a new online service. They want you to breathe life into this concept to offer it as a cloud service. Not only does this have potential, but it could also have massive growth. What seems to be odd is that the business seems to value using some rapid application development technologies with a rather simple architectural model. This would mean a design that would be implemented as a monolithic application, making distribution and redundancy rather difficult. However, this technology has the advantage of being very easy to work with and will produce many components automatically without any coordination for sharing the resources. Producing the service is rather straightforward. It's up and available within a few weeks. Word quickly gets around and spreads. A popular influencer runs with the concept and promotes the service. Overnight, there's an unplanned inflow of new users. At 3 a.m., you get the dreaded alert, which would be the only thing more stressful than your mother-in-law moving in after her home burns down. You immediately know this situation is very problematic. The technology used essentially created many components automatically, and they're all isolated without any caching capability, let alone any capability to offload any processing. Also, there's no component sharing or resource sharing. These components disconnect only to reconnect to the database server on the next instruction. It's incredibly inefficient, but it would be perfectly fine during low loads. This is a new angle of the phrase, "it works on my computer," that you would have rather remained ignorant of. The amount of technical debt this rapid approach has created is horrific. This will be a long day. Not just because you had to be at your computer 6 hours before you were planning to, but also because social media is buzzing with all the news about the service. How it's so awesome. If only it would work. The negative feedback is pouring in, and the brand's image is shining under the wrong spotlight. The first things are to limit access to the service, throttle new user accounts, and limit some of the more resource intensive areas of the application. This will buy you time. With this time, you focus on more long-term solutions. Paying back some of the technical debt and bad design, or lack of, measuring and monitoring becomes the next step. You're looking for the top issues with the application, which can already be uncovered by measuring the resources used, monitoring how the application behaves, and seeing why it crashes. You also connect with other experienced developers and a few experts, crash learning some of the best practices for scalability. Not sure if this was just a long day or several ones. It's kind of a blur. The system is stabilized. It's also re-engineered for growth. Some of the changes involve caching, distribution of processing, and offloading the database layer, which is now only used to persist data for long-term use. You've learned firsthand that rapid development and high scalability are two unrelated concepts. Just because it works as a prototype doesn't mean it's ready for prime time, especially in high demand situations. It's clear to you that proactive planning, a good design, and proper testing to know where your limits are critical. I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't know how many users your system can handle, it's a ticking time bomb. And also, how to better plan the process should those limitations come into play.